Hello, Max here. This video is meant to show you guys how to wash your gloves, how to take care of them over time, both with a pair like these, which are, haven't been used in a while, kind of sort of need some love, versus these, where I've sort of been more actively been keeping care of them, the foam has stayed softer, and how to take care of them in these different scenarios. First of all, some general information. If you look up at this stuff online, you're gonna see a lot of companies trying to sell you special special soap for this, special glove washes. From everyone I talk to, including a guy who actually makes these, they're a scam. You can use most soaps as long as they're not super harsh. I always end up using Dawn dish soap. Any kind of not particularly hard soap should work for this. It's going to be important that we use cold water. If you use hot or warm water, what can happen is it can dry out the foam on the gloves. And so what'll happen is you'll start to get cracks in the gloves as it sort of shrinks due to the heat. When we're cleaning these, the most important thing will be to look after the foam itself. The rest of the glove, the backhand, the inside, it should still be washed, just so it doesn't stink or grow bacteria. But the most important thing when it comes to actually using the gloves will be the foam, because cleaning the gloves and the foam in particular will make sure it expands, and so it'll be a lot easier to catch shots that way. Yeah, well, let's start. The first step will be turn on cold water, and then what you want to do is you want to just soak the glove. You want to get it nice and wet, because a lot of the times, if we're dealing like these red gloves per se, I haven't used these in a long time, and so what happens then is these get very dry, and you really have to get a lot of water on them in order to for them to sort of absorb that. Once you actually get the gloves on, once you actually get the gloves wet, what you want to do is you want to get the glove on the respective hand, and then this is when you start using whatever soap you would like to use for this. As I said earlier, don't waste your money on the Adidas or Roush or whatever brand you want to choose, like official glove soap. Those are almost all a scam, just so you can buy more products from them. Any non-harsh soap should do the trick, and get them nice and clean. All right, so you want to do is you want to pour a little bit of soap onto the palm, and you want to rub it in all over the foam of the glove, especially on turf. On turf and grass, it's a little bit different. The concerns on turf, it'll slowly start to die. Like the little black rubber pebbles will slowly start to dye the foam black or gray. And no, that on its own isn't necessarily the worst thing for the glove, but it's always sort of a good marker for how clean they are. So if you can, you won't be able to get all of it off, but you want to try to get most of it. I'm pressing into the glove, rubbing with my fingers, sort of cleaning it out. Another good thing here is if you making a fist, squeezing some of this out from the inside. This will really help to make sure you're getting the suds out as you're washing it, because Like the issue with using hot water, if you leave suds in the glove, those will suck up water, and like with the hot water, it'll contribute to the gloves drying out and cracking. This is one of those things that's just gonna take a sec. You want to really make sure the soap's in there. You're scrubbing away with your hands, getting what you can out. And then after you do this for a little bit, what you want to do is that you want to pull open the part that goes around your wrist, and what you want to do is you want to pour a little bit of soap on the inside of the glove as well. Now, the inside of the glove is really where you're going to see a lot of the bacteria form, and this is where you're going to get gloves that smell absolutely awful, and it feels like there's nothing you can do here. So what I'm doing is I've got my hand on the inside of the glove after I put a little soap in, and I'm moving my fingers around in there, really trying to scrub on the inside as well. For this one, you're just gonna have to do this for a little bit, really work around in there, and this is gonna help deal with a lot of the sweat buildup as well. And then you're gonna just have to run this underwater, and this is a part that's going to take some serious time, because you're gonna run it underwater. The soap's gonna absorb some of it, and it's gonna sud more, but you've just got to keep doing this until it stops sudding up. It's gonna take some time. You just have to be patient with it. And then after a little bit of squeezing it through like this, just making a fist, squeezing all the suds that you can, really making sure it sort of works, the soap works its way through there. You can pour water into the glove, dump it out, squeeze it from the outside here. And then doing your best just to squeeze out the last of the suds. Now, this is, like I said earlier, this process is going to take a little bit, because the suds are going to want to try to stay in there in the foam. The foam's very, it's supposed to be very absorbent. So just keep working at it. Try not to, if you can, try to avoid scrunching up the glove like this, and try rather just to press evenly, or do that, or make that fist, because the issue is with scrunching it up is that what happens is the glove is, these gloves are built to sort of work and to move in a couple of different ways. If you're using it as, like, if you're making that fist, that is the glove is designed for that. The glove is sort of designed for you to do that as a goalie. If you're balling it up like this, it's not something that's going to ever happen. So these are not sort of built to withstand that as much. This is less of that's not something, if you do it like once or twice, that's not going to really cause any lasting damage. But if you were to, say, do it consistently over the long run, that can start to mess up the latex a little bit and really sort of hamper the longevity of them. This glove looks good. the the instructions are the same once you do it with the other, once you do it with one, just do it with the other glove. And then what you want to do is you want to find, if you have like a dish towel or like a small towel you can lay it out on. What you want to do is you would like to lay out the gloves on this towel overnight, foam side facing down, and just let it air dry. The heat, it is understandable that if you're like, man, this is gonna take a second, and I just want to get it done quick, so I want to try to, I don't know, like throw it in the dryer, or like use a hair dryer. It's in a pinch, a hair dryer on cold would work a little bit, but it's not something you want to do regularly. It's the best thing for these gloves, and the latex on these gloves, in the long run, is to just let them air dry. So it's important to sort of prep this. I like to do it, the night before a game, or a day before the game if I can, and then after they've air dried, and right before I go out for the game, what I'll do is I'll run them under cold water, squeeze the gloves a bit so it sort of it sucks up that water, and then if I have to squeeze out a little bit of water before the game, that's fine. But yeah, you want to let them air dry overnight if you can. So these steps are very important. It's one of the most important things that you can do as a goalkeeper for your general playing ability, is to make sure that these gloves stay in good shape. They're expensive, and you really don't want to have to buy a bunch of new pairs if you can avoid it. For the most part, it's going to be important to just keep them wet and follow these instructions, and it'll be a lot easier to catch. It'll saves will be a lot kinder on your hands, because the padding will be thicker, and so it will be easier to absorb the shot into the gloves. And yeah, in general, I would suggest to try to do a thorough wash with soap about once a week. Maybe more if you play in a particularly muddy game on a grass field, and then it's important to get sort of the dirt out of there, because that'll also suck up water and dry out the gloves. But yeah, wash them thoroughly about once a week, and then wet them before every use, so they sort of stay moist and they stay spongy, so it'll be easier to catch and easier to make saves. All right. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll put my email in the description of the video. And yeah, I'm excited to see y'all put this to the test. All right, bye-bye.